the theme for the day is finding peace in the midst of imperfection. And it really comes from, if any of you read the flyer about this retreat day, it comes from the words of third century Zen patriarch Zen San. And it's the end of a very much longer piece called Verses of the Faith Mind. And the last few lines are these: one thing, all things move and intermingle without distinction. To live in this realization is to be without anxiety in the face of imperfection. To be without anxiety in the face of imperfection. To live in this faith is the road to non-duality, because the non-dual is one with the trusting mind. And when he writes all things, one thing, all things move among and intermingle without distinction, he's not talking about the fact that these forms of ours and the forms that we're constantly perceiving in thought, mind, body, world, so forth, don't have distinctive flavors. Obviously, they do. But they move and intermingle without distinction in the wholeness of being, the wholeness of our true nature. That's what's perfect. It's perfectly whole. We don't have to look far within ourselves or within the world or within the politics of this country and many others to find many things that feel very imperfect. And it's hard. It's hard for the mind, isn't it, to discover peace that might already be present, even in the midst of challenging times, challenging emotions, challenging situations. So today I really want to invite us not just to talk about peace, but to discover where to find it, because it's really inside. Everything is actually inside, because you as what you truly are the wholeness of being. You are life itself, living itself in your particular form, your particular expression, moment to moment. But the peace that you actually are is the peace of our true nature. And that is actually ever available, even though it appears not to be in so many instances. And so I want to just invite us to a meditation to begin our day together. I will guide part of the meditation, and then we'll just sit quietly together. And so let yourself find a comfortable way to sit. It doesn't have to be rigid. Let yourself begin to just come present here now, wherever you are. And as I often like to do at the beginning of any meditation, is just to invite you to pay attention for a few moments to your breath. It is such an incredible reminder of life in its impermanence, actually. Coming and going. Inhaling, exhaling. Taking in and letting go. Moving rhythmically or not, shallow or deep. Still, this breath is your life force. Moving in your own body, moment to moment. And it's doing it by itself, like the rest of life, if we have eyes to see, based on causes and conditions, far beyond the mind's ability to track them all. But the breath is such an incredibly present reminder of something that we often take for granted until breathing becomes difficult, as it is for so many in our world today who have COVID. We might take a moment just to be grateful for our own breath in this moment. And let it come and go without trying to control it, make it different, make it deeper or shallower. Just notice in yourself that something's present to the breath when our attention goes there. Our awareness may be aware of many things simultaneously. It is attention that moves, not awareness. Attention is the movement of that awareness. So as you pay attention to the breath, that's coming and going. That perhaps is having a calming influence on your body in this moment, if it is. Notice if there is something already quiet before you try to quiet your body or your mind. Is there something that's already silent before you imagine you are one to become silent? Is there something already open and aware and awake to this moment of your experience before you try to become open? Is there something already present before you attempt to become present? These are all questions pointing to a dimension of you that does not require effort because it's here. And likewise, is there something already at peace, regardless of the mind's thoughts or the emotions or body sensations you may be experiencing? Is there something already open, aware, quiet, and at peace? And if you find that there is in your own experience, just let yourself be bathed in that dimension of yourself for a bit. This deep well of peace is available. But we must turn our attention to it if we are to experience it. We don't create it. And we actually can't destroy it, even though there appear to be many obstacles to experiencing such peace. So let this feeling of peace just descend embrace, wrap its arms around you, hug you, open the compassionate heart that it's coming from. Allowing you rest. I should say allowing your mind a bit of rest. Because it's only the mind's thoughts that separate us, seemingly, but not really, from this, our true nature that is really not at peace, it is peace. It doesn't have to become silent, it already is silent, and yet it moves as the source of your expression and mine, life itself, being itself. Nothing in the world, in this moment, has had to change for you to experience the peace that's here, regardless. The peace that, as some scriptures say, passes understanding, a peace that the mind cannot manipulate or even understand. Because when you discover this, you discover that it actually is available to you regardless of how confused the mind may be, or how upset your emotions may feel, or how intense the world situation may be. We're not putting our heads in the sand or denying any of those experiences, but simply noticing this deep dimension of yourself, your own true nature, here and now. And so I would just invite us to sit together in this quiet and let the peace touch whatever it needs to touch in you. There are so many dimensions of ourself that are longing to be at rest, even for a few moments in our life. And so let this peace touch you, touch your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, your body, wherever the need feels greatest. Not to get rid of anything, but to embrace it. To see it, to understand, to love, to have compassion. And so we'll just sit together for a while, and I will invite the bell to ring after a bit.